My professional life started in 1997. Immediately I started teaching, I was posted to a girls' school, and there were many challenges. I was still quite young. Before I got married, I might not really describe my lifestyle as having been carefree, but I was not very keen, especially on sexual matters. I would have unprotected sex with my girlfriends. And sometimes in 1999, I had a sexual encounter with my girlfriend, and after that, I developed some skin infection. I had some fever after some time, but it didn't bother me so much. And then when I got married in 2000, we had our firstborn in 2001, and the baby was healthy. She's okay. She's now 6 years old. She conceived in around January, February 2006, and in July, that was in her 7th month of conception, she went for the prevention of mother-to-child treatment, and that is when she was informed that she was HIV positive. Then when we were going to sleep is when she broke the news to me, and I was very scared. How did it happen? Is it me or is it her? That was the question, and I couldn't sleep. I told her that I was also going to do a test the following day. I went to school in the morning, but I was not feeling very comfortable. I could also not gather courage to go to the VCT for testing. I talked with the counselor who was there. He actually did counseling, but I was anxious because at the back of my mind I knew I was HIV positive. But of course, even though you might have that at the back of your mind, you still expect a miracle. When I saw the results, it's like the whole world just fell on me, and I felt this is the end of it. So I stayed there for a few minutes, composing myself. Then I went to break the news to my wife. And I think when she saw me and she saw my eyes, she knew that was the case. That is the worst. The knowledge that day we can say, was the worst. I was not under any drugs. I was still reluctant. The fact that you have to take it for the rest of your life, because it is a lifelong commitment. After that, we sat down, we talked, and we agreed that we were going to live positively. The fear of stigma, that if people knew, how would they relate to me? People have known me for all this long. And I was afraid that if they knew, maybe they would react negatively. Then secondly, I was also afraid that if I started falling sick, I have a passion for what I do, for the job I do, so I was afraid that I will not be able to do the job. I had not told my principal about it, so I felt that the only thing was to tell him now that the reality is that because of my health status, I'm HIV positive, I need to be near the health facility. He was shocked, but he accepted. In fact, I think he had also gone through some element of sensitization, and he did not react negatively. He reacted positively, and he said he would support me, and he actually went to the authorities and informed them that I'm not ready.
In 1989, I was working as a sales girl, and I didn't feel satisfied with what I was doing. So I went to Kisii Teachers College, and then I graduated after 2 years with a diploma in education, English, history, and physical education. My vision as a teacher was that children would look up to me. The community looks up to me because I liked my primary school teacher. And when I think about my primary school teacher, she was like a mother to me. And that's really what I wanted to be. I also wanted to be like a mother to the children that I was going to teach. I got married in 1991, and then in 1995, I lost my husband. And when I think back about what could have been responsible for his death, it brings the realization that it could have been HIV and AIDS. Even when the doctor who was seeing him, I still remember he asked me, "Madam, we are going to run a HIV test." And I said, "I have no problem. It's okay as long as we find out what is wrong with my husband." Then blood samples were taken and told me, there's really nothing to worry about. And within less than 2 months, he slipped into a coma and he died. It was that sudden. In 1995, there was hardly anything about HIV and AIDS. And the children, the students, were also very, very scared. Even the songs that were there at that particular time, the picture that was there of HIV and AIDS was of a thin person who was at the point of death. They would be told that if you sin, then you can get HIV and AIDS, and the next thing you are going to do what? You're going to die. So I continued with my work in church, in school, very healthy, perfect mother, perfect high school teacher. And I got an opportunity to go and study outside the country. And the regulations at that time is that if you are leaving the country, then you need to have an HIV test. So I told the colleague at the VCT site, "Why don't you test me?" So he tested me, but he got the results. And he decided, I think he decided to go through again and checked the levels. And by the time he was coming back to me, it was very clear that I was HIV positive and I had a CD4 cell count of 130. So I panicked and it was like, now what do I do? What is going to happen to my child? Am I going to die? What am I going to do? And you know, it is at that particular point that I realized that really I was becoming small. And somehow, even other people can see the problem, but as an individual, you seem to ignore it. I have polka dots that are now clearing off because of, you know, the use of ARVs. They were very dark. And of course that was stigmatizing, and you know, people would ask me, why are your legs so, why do you have so many spots on your legs? But somehow I decided and said, okay, here I am HIV positive. What can I do? And I knew that if I took the medications, then I was going to improve my life.